Okay, my name is SL Gamer Guy, and today we're going to be doing a review and unboxing of the LG 25UM58 ultra-wide monitor. This is a 25-inch ultra-wide monitor with an aspect ratio of 21:9. So, let's take and get right into the unboxing, shall we? First of all, I would like to note, it does have a dinged up corner on the box, which I think is very interesting, but it should probably still be fine. Also, apparently mailmen are not that strong. This is a 12-pound package, and apparently requires 2 men to lift. I've always been a rule breaker. Apparently, don't kick the box either. Don't kick the box. It's a bad idea. Okay, so I always like to try to open things without tearing the box apart too much, but it looks like I'm just going to slice right down the center of the box. Okay, and we are in. First thing I notice is a lot of styrofoam, so it is very, very well packed. Let's take and get a second camera angle. Okay, now we have a secondary camera angle, so you guys can see exactly what I'm seeing. So, first of all, we have what appears to be the base wrapped in some nice protective plastic. We have a thumb screw on the bottom, I'm assuming to attach it to the actual monitor. We've got an American AC adapter, which is perfect. It looks like about, I don't know, a 6-foot cord wrapped up. I have no clue what on earth this is. Guess we're just gonna have to find out. Okay, and that's really nice. It does come with an HDMI cable. It appears to be maybe 4 or 5 feet long. We have a disc DVD of some sort and a user's manual. Let's take and remove the top piece of styrofoam. And we now have exposed the inner workings. This should be the actual IPS panel right here, which is, once again, very, very well packaged. And I am surprised because I thought most of the weight of this monitor, of it being 12 pounds, is going to end up being in the base or something like that, but it's actually just a very, very heavy IPS display. So, it looks like we have a handling guide, which we don't need. Let's take and get right into this. So this is the actual IPS display itself. As I said, it's a 21:9 aspect ratio. It should be full HD. And this appears to be a sleeve of some sort. Now, let's take and get to assembling this. I'm trying to remove this as carefully as possible. The first thing I notice is that we have a very small bezel on the sides and the top.
Okay, I just want to take a moment right here, now that I have the monitor set up and I'm actually using it as a monitor, I have realized that that bezel that I was talking about is the actual plastic around the display. The display itself actually has large black bars that go around the edge of it, so technically it has a fairly standard size bezel, but if you're not playing video through it, it looks like a very small bezel.
Which I very much like, as this is going to be going in a 3-display setup. So it's going to be a very small border between the actual screens themselves. Once again, we have protective plastic on the bezel. And if we flip it over, we have not 1, but 2 HDMI ports. And that sound is just amazing. The first thing we will notice is that it is really, really glossy. It also appears that there's a Visa mount on the back, or VESA, I don't know how you should pronounce it. So let's get to assembling this. Get my pocket knife out again. I believe I know what this is now. I believe this is going to connect the monitor itself to the base. And it looks like I'm correct. So, I guess before we do that, we should take a look at the ports. The ports we have are two HDMI ports, both are inputs, a headphone out, and the power adapter in. So, very simple. And the two HDMI ports in, I am assuming, would allow you to switch between them, whether you want this on your desktop hooked up to your computer, and then, let's say, an Xbox or a PlayStation, you could use it for both. Let's take and open this. Once again, LG apparently really likes their high-gloss plastic. But I guess that's not necessarily a downside, I'm just not a fan of it because it is a fingerprint magnet. So, there is going to be some hardware somewhere, which I do believe might have been in that packaging. I don't believe so. Okay, well, I am going to take and look for the hardware, and I will be right back when I find it. Okay, I have found the hardware. It is inside the bag with the HDMI cable, which is somewhat odd. I would have thought that they would have probably put it with mounting, but I guess not. So we are going to very carefully cut through the tape. And we are going to pull out your HDMI cable, which appears to be fairly well built, but generally generic. We'll set that aside. We have a little plastic cover of some sorts, I believe to cover up the screws, and then two Phillips screws to attach it. So, I have my screwdriver over here. It appears to be a number 2 Phillips. Also, I do recommend that you be cautious not to let your screwdriver slip, as you could very easily ding and dent up the plastic, which is definitely what you don't want. So, let's take and put at least one screw in decently loose, just enough to hold it. Also, keep in mind, more than likely, these screws are going into aluminum or plastic. I believe it's aluminum. So you are not going to need to tighten them down very much. But you still don't want your monitor on a loose base either. So try and find a happy middle ground there. And then, once those screws are tightened in place, I don't believe you need a screwdriver for anything else. However, you are going to want this little cover in the second baggie to cover up the screw holes, which I believe is going to take and clip in place like, nope, not like that. This is interesting. Yes, just like that. Okay. So, I believe that is, for the most part, the monitor fully assembled. Once we put on the base, which we're going to want to take the plastic off after we secure the base on, because there is still a possibility that we could ding and dent it up. And I'm going to cover something which looks like more than likely important information on the base with my hand. Sorry, I am going to do this off the side of the desk because it is going to make it far easier. Not to mention, it's just a thumb screw. There's nothing exciting. So, this is now the LG 25UM58 UltraWide 21:9 aspect ratio monitor, fully assembled. So, we can get rid of the protective foam. And the first thing we will notice is that it does have a tip function to it of It looks to be somewhere around 15 to 20 degrees, I'm not quite sure. So, it does appear to be very nice, very well built. It is not going to rattle around on your desk at all, I don't believe. The thin bezel is definitely a plus, and underneath the LG logo, there is I guess you could say almost a signature single control button joystick to maneuver through the menus and get everything accomplished. This is, I would say, a great monitor. It's the cheapest ultrawide I could find on Amazon for $157. Hashtag not sponsored, but wish I was. This is disclaimer. I bought this monitor with my own money. All of these opinions are my own, completely unbiased. This is the first time I have looked at this monitor. So, I would say it is a great buy for the price of $157 US, and would be great for anyone who is doing, I guess I should get into that. Why would someone want a 21:9 aspect ratio monitor or an ultrawide instead of the classic 16:9? Like the Asus VX238, which is another great resolution monitor. This, though it is slightly larger, you will notice is far shorter in height. That being said, this is not going to be very good for web browsing. There will be black bars on the side of the screen for most of it. However, I am a video editor, so the longer the monitor, the bigger my timeline will be on the bottom, and the more productivity I can get. So, you do have to think about what you are using for an ultrawide monitor. And I believe nearly all games nowadays will be supported on this, but I don't know if you would want to game on it, as it has a 5 millisecond response time versus the Asus VX238, which has a 1 millisecond response time. This, I believe, is a great monitor if you are a video editor, photo editor of any sort, anyone who has a timeline on the bottom, who is working in editing, video production, but not necessarily for the everyday person who wants to watch YouTube videos.
Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. Also, follow me on social media, links in the description. If you have enjoyed this video, you might also like some of my others. Here, I took and built an external USB hard drive, a 1TB one in fact. And over here, I took and installed some really nice computer fans in my custom gaming computer. Also, over there, I have a video which was my recent upload. It's more than likely a gaming video, but if you're into that, why don't you click it as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay awesome.